So, April 9, end of shine. Irish Government Health Minister today said that the restrictions would be released in a matter of weeks because we have to learn how to live with the virus. You will now see a cascade of countries saying, uh, time to go back to work, time to get back to normal. But of course, we won't be going back to normal because we're going back to what they really wanted and all this, a 1970s economy. And that's what they really wanted, that's what they really got. Now, I'm positive about the future. I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed the lockdown, still enjoying it, and I hope you feel the same way too. I posed the question again on my Facebook page. How many of you actually know someone personally who died of COVID 19, who did not have an underlying condition such as cancer, AIDS, HIV, diabetes, a neurological disorder? We're not geriatric, we're not chain smokers or heroin addicts or uh, what's the other one? I said geriatrics and heart condition, and the answer has been none so far. And the ones who said I know someone who died didn't give me specifics. The only I've heard, we also remember people who are chain smokers would also be in great danger because of the respiratory effects of that. So that's probably my, and vegans as well. The vegan boards are full of people who got the Rona, and they're like, it literally almost kills them. So they would be in a high risk area as well. The rest of us, it was no, I mean, congratulations, all you healthcare workers, for your performance in pretending there was a kill all pandemic. You're all heroes now. The Orwellian inner party state has now been completely created. These people who work in public sector jobs will get massive pay rises now, while the rest of them, everyone else, loses their jobs and homes because of the economic crash that they deliberately caused, the globalists deliberately caused. And, all the world's a stage, isn't it? Like, when you were clapping those government workers, little did you know you were clapping them like you're doing a real show. You were clapping for the performance. Well done. Empty isolation units with no one dying in them. Well done, pretending there was a pandemic that would kill all the young. Well done, bin men getting clapped for picking up bins, getting paid to do their job. They're not ever going to lose it, but they're going, I'm an achiever. I picked up the bins. I'm an achiever. This fucking hell. None against being a bin man. There's nothing wrong with having a job, but I'm just saying it's like to say they're heroes just because they did their job every day. When it was not during a fake pandemic, and it was fake. It was completely fake. The only thing that was real, yes, there was COVID-19. Yet there was people dying, but they would have died of the regular seasonal flu anyway. But it was all designed to do two things: crash the economy back to where it was in the 70s, and elevate government workers to the level of mortal gods. Because they really need a strong bureaucracy and civil service public sector going forward when the riots begin. When the meat suddenly sit around one day and go, oh, I got no job. I got no job. I had a job, but I got no job. And, this kind of thing. And then, Finian McFinnicon of the Stony Batter Socialist Alliance. I'm afraid I'm going to have to give up my apartment, my hipster pad, to the banks, because now anyone who can't pay their mortgage, their houses and apartments are being made part of the national housing stock as public housing. And but I did what the government told me. I was a good leftist. I was a good social justice warrior. I I did everything that the government told me. I called people who questioned the government kooks and conspiracy theorists, and now I'm losing my home. I'm an achiever. Yeah, you really did it, didn't you? I'm an achiever. It sounds like, what was that guy that used to do? John Parr, St. Elmo's phlegm. St. Elmo's phlegm. But I'm having a fucking great time. Although one thing that happened this morning was my ears were ringing like fucking crazy. My tinnitus, it was beyond tinnitus. It was like, whoa! It was like that. It was like air raid sirens going off in my head. It stopped now, but it was really weird waking up to that. Anyway, I always have tinnitus anyway from a misspent youth. I have tinnitus. It fucked up my ears. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not bothered about the future. Well, it'll be good. It'll be. It's only if you're wrapped up in the system and believed everything telly TV newsman told you, and did everything your government told you. Your life is going to be a disappointing, unfortunate, miserable spectacle. But the rest of us who are like, we'll be all be fine. You remember that? Post 9, we're all fine. And there's one other thing I want to say, serious point now. My friend Ian Crane, if you don't know, is very ill in hospital at the moment. And he asked me, he told me a few weeks ago this on the phone, but he asked me not to tell anybody. So I know a few of you had asked me about Ian, where he's been, and I said he was just away doing family stuff. That wasn't because I was lying to you out of malicious or anything like that, or deceiving you. It's because I was sticking up for a friend, and he asked me to play it low key and not tell anyone. That's the reason. So uh, look what we did. Our job was to no shine by April 9. We did it. Okay, we do things. We have power. I want everyone out there, and this is completely serious, to focus all your healing energies on Ian Crane. He's in hospital. He's had an operation. He's weak, but we need our leaders. Without a shadow of a doubt, Ian is a mentor of mine, and you're probably hearing about me because of all the years Ian pushed my work and stood up for me and fought my corner. So it's our turn, and the man single-handedly really undermined fracking on these islands, not by leading protests, but by spreading knowledge and making people think. So we've really all got to send all our healing energy to Ian. And how you do that is you imagine Ian healthy with a bit of weight on him, back to his old self, making videos on Facebook and YouTube in the future. Okay, that's how you do it. We're not that's how you envision him in the future doing his videos, pissing off the establishment and standing on stage at the AV events. Okay, that's what we do. We send that out there. We owe that man. We all owe that man. I owe him personally an enormous personal debt, and lots of you out there do as well. He's a true warrior, and he fought for people regardless of social status, class, race, religion, nationality. All he cares about is the human race and it being safe from the globalists, and that's it. And the man doesn't live in wealth or anything. He lives a very frugal, basic lifestyle, but he's inspiring, and that he's happy, and he's like me. He loves model trains and stuff like that. So that's the Ian I know, the guy that we'd be in a hotel somewhere, and I'd be telling filthy jokes, and he'd be telling me, he'd hold his eyes like this with like tears rolling down from laughing. That's the guy I know. So what your job is to do now. Okay, where we have power, we have real power, and that power is to be used for helping the ones who have been there to help us. So, thank you for everything. We now shine after April 9. Thank you.